And welcome tonight to Players of the Realms, or rather, Players of the Realms presents Dawn of a New Era, the next chapter. We left off into an interesting and precarious place, but we're going to get to the recap in a few seconds. But before this, we have a special question of the session tonight that has been requested by our very own goblin, Fennec. So, the question we have tonight is, what is okay to say in a D&D session, but is not okay to say to your partner? Who wants to start us off?
I feel it's only right.
I was gonna say that.
Oh, okay. What rating are we?
At this point, definitely not for kids.
Okay, sweet. So my
PG-15.
My
We'll go with rated R at this point. I think we've done a lot of decapitations and
Peggy 16.
decapitation is now like PG-13.
Peggy 16. Let's get that.
Fine then. We'll go PG-16. I like it. We'll do it. So
Wait, can we make it 18 for tonight?
God.
Oh, I'm sticking with
Sure.
it. I'm going with it. So
go with it.
my thing for what you can say in the D&D world and not to your partner is, it sprays in your face and you are stunned until my next turn.
Sorry, there were two angry cats sharing.
Clock out.
Yep. Mission accomplished. I broke him.
Okay. No, not broken. That was funny.
I completely missed that. Sorry.
I'll read it again. So mine is, it sprays in your face and you are stunned until my next turn.
Alrighty. I almost feel like Drew Carey right now. Gierfreid, take it away. What's yours?
I don't care how exhausted you are, mount up.
Aren't you glad I asked for PG-18?
Oh my
Yes, I am.
God.
This works. Good thing about YouTube is that it doesn't require that level of parameter. I just rate it as not for kids. Great.
We speak in code and euphemism.
Yeah, euphemism. Sure.
You-
Yami, go ahead.
I'm gonna be a little morbid. Can I get a death roll?
Ooh, kinky.
I'm trying to think of how you would say that to your inspiration.
Yeah, just give me a death roll.
I mean, it's okay to say to
I wasn't being sexual.
in a session, but good. My kinky fit. Okay. Alrighty, Joan. Let's see if you can top Yami's.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not prepared for this one at all. I got...
It's alright, me neither. I was going with the punches. You got this.
Withhold.
By the way, audience, I did put them on the spot for the most part.
I mean, isn't that in itself a phrase you can say in game, but not as, let's see if you can top Yami?
It depends on if you're into sharing. So, Joan. Sorry about that.
No, take your time. I Feel free to skip me altogether. I cannot. My mind's a blank. This is not my forte.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry,
So-
universe.
Yeah, it's okay. Back to the struggles of the game. With that brief transport to a different world and their return to the exact locations where they left off. The players are back in the same situation in which we had found ourselves on, what they had found themselves in on when we had last had our session with this on October 13th. Chaos has kind of ensued on what was supposed to be a quick, brief downtime activity where Fennec, for lack of a better term, has gotten himself into a bit of a legal and questioning conundrum where he finds himself apprehended by the guards of the House Orion who monitor the train station. Fennec, would you like to tell everybody why it is you feel that you are being or held without held incorrectly? I can't talk tonight apparently.
Unlawfully
detained. Problem because I'm the DM. Thank you.
Unlawfully detained. Yes, I will happily tell the audience why the goblin was succumbed to prejudice and discrimination of goblins by guards who are probably of one stereotype. But he was minding his business, walking the halls, looking for the loo, when he came across a door that should have been locked, was not, and he was, in D&D terms, for lack of better terms, racially profiled because he was a goblin, and detained, locked up like an animal in the steerage cart, without representation or a message call.
If you've ever read the story, the true story of the big bad wolf, this is what I feel like I'm looking at. So, from my perspective, Fennec was walking through the hallways trying to fit the key collection that he has to open things. His intentions behind opening the door is up for debate, mostly him trying to plead his innocence. As he opens it, he finds somebody changing, and she screams. He tells her to calm down in a interesting way, and she screams louder. He does get himself apprehended, and then eventually plays dead, then escapes, then threatens.
Question?
Gives himself, yes.
Wait, so because the guards entered the train car, he faked dead. Did they ever tell him he was under arrest?
I don't know the jurisprudence that we're used to applies here.
Technically, you believe that But
if they never told him he was under arrest, he was free to leave.
That is not true. He was already apprehended.
Motherfucker, I just binged Suits. That is how it works.
With the assumption that it is this type of legal system.
It was a Terry stop.
Yeah. I'm still sticking with my story, but
I like the legal argument.
It's a choose your own ending.
Yes, but sure. Sure. Decisions matter. They definitely matter.
In light of all this happening in the other world, we did see some evolution of Fennec.
You're right. You only lied to half of the NPCs you spoke to.
He only spoke to two.
Exactly.
He was in a new place. They didn't know anybody. They also weren't giving him the full story, so trust is earned.
That being said,
So, moving forward, yes, you did vanquish the Headless Horseman in that, and you do maintain your weapon, your items of autumn that have been imbued or bestowed upon. Now, to finish up the quick wrap-up, multiple occasions, he had been visited by Levin and Gierfreid. Gierfreid, who in the interim has been attempting to unionize the House Orion guards who have been standing guard. We ended the session with Saerys being escorted to Fennec, and them having this conversation where she emphasized the fact that you got caught. And then you gave yourself up.
It seems true.
That's where we're going to start tonight, as you reappear exactly where we left off.
So I'm in the cart there with me, where Saerys is with me?
Saerys is with you. I believe everybody is with you except for Levin, who is not here tonight, so he will be escorting with Melee.
Oh, right, because we phased back. Fennec saw that he was chained again, and we ended the session on son of a bitch.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe the circumstance we left with is the guards were still in the same carriage, but off a distance so that I could quote-unquote consult with my client.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yes.
in disguise as your attorney.
You claim
I'll tell
privilege.
you.
And I also think that Yami and Gierfreid were trying to settle down some train Karen for some reason.
You had settled them down, and yeah, that was an interesting one.
I fired him. That's right. I fired him, and then she walked off.
No, you didn't just fire him. You smacked him.
Right.
I was gonna say, well,
and
first,
fired him.
well, first you smacked me, then you kissed me, but that's another story for another day.
If it happened in the dream, it really happened.
I was going to say, I don't remember that one. We're going to have to go back to that one.
That happened.
I'm throwing the red flag.
On what reason?
No, to say that it happened. To say it did or did not happen.
Oh,
Check the replay.
Well, to check the replay, it's quite simple. Go ahead to youtube.com. Currently, it's in the live section of our videos. I have to update our video list, but please check out our past episodes. Before we begin, we always have to do the usual peddling route. After all, I have this nice dapper cap. Every purchase you make helps support us so that we can continue doing what we're doing and bring better stories with every day. So check us out at playersoftherealms.com. We do have a merchandise tab where you can go check out our store, where we have an ever-growing number of merchandise. Now, that is all done, we can get onto the story. So, you notice that you are being watched like a hawk by these 3 or 4 guards that are in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And you are in a close vicinity. You do have the memories retained, but the feeling that washes over you is the emotion that you had in the heat of the moment. So it's as if that was almost dreamlike. The memories don't fade or anything, but you are returned with that same kind of emotional state that you had been teleported off with.
All right. Process that weirdness for later. All right, Fennec. You've landed yourself in a bit of a sticky wicket.
Maybe.
Looks at his handcuffs. Or, I assume he's is he in handcuffs or is he, bound with rope?
He's shackled.
Okay, yeah, she just,
He's shackled, yeah.
She just eyes the shackles.
He looks. He looks up and goes, "Oh, these? I'm letting them do this."
Of course. Well, that's good, because we really don't need the trouble of resisting now that you're actually caught.
I know. I tried.
Yes, go through the events again. What exactly got you into this state?
The first or the second time?
Let's start with the initial cause, inciting event, so that I know I might have an idea of what to say.
I was minding my own business.
Mm-hmm.
Was walking around the car, stretching my legs, and there was a lot of keyholes that maybe one of my keys would have fit in.
Okay.
And then I regretfully opened or tried one door, which was already open. And unbeknownst to me, the room was occupied with a woman with a not so flattering view.
Her carriage was okay.
No, the woman was not a flattering view.
Oh. Okay.
So she screamed, which caused me to have a heart attack. I fell on the ground, and the next thing I knew, I woke up chained to a wall in the steerage cart.
So I would like to insight check Fennec to see if he's lying to me.
So, Fennec, do you agree to some PvP?
Yeah.
All right. Fennec, roll your check to me. It's either going to be a deception or a persuasion check. And Saerys, go ahead and roll your insight.
Could have been better.
Oh. to private to DM. What'd you say? Oh, never mind.
You have either deception or persuasion.
Yeah.
So, the words that he chooses makes him confident enough that you're not able to distinguish whether or not he believes what he's saying is true or if it's true.
She'll
Now,
look at. Oh, sorry.
Before you go on, sorry, just hold that thought. Fennec,
Okay.
how carefully are you choosing your words? Like Fennec as a character.
Fennec is telling it in the way he truly sees it.
Okay.
So he's not like I'm trying am I trying not to give away something while I'm saying it, or like how he's acting?
Like because the way that you're are you being very particular in your word choice, meaning like are you leaving room for ambiguity, or are you just highlighting the parts? That's my question. Like, what is the truth that you're saying?
So
meaning like
he is.
Sorry, it's a confusing question.
No, I get what
I
you're saying.
apologize.
He is. He's not changing much, but he's not. If anything, he's leaving things out.
Gotcha. So it's more omission. It's more omission than anything.
Yeah, and that's why I rolled the way I did.
Okay.
Because he's. Yeah.
So with that, doesn't appear to be lying, but you are also not sure if he's just getting better at lying.
Yeah.
Because I do know that Saerys tends to be more on the paranoid side.
Yeah.
But right now, would that make Saerys angry or proud?
She looks over at him and she's like, she's giving you like this sort of blank expression as praising and appraising look as she's like studying you while you say this. And she looks at you just like, can't tell if you're lying. Good work.
And then I got out of my shackles
Oh.
due to poor detail. And when he says detail, he's meaning like guards.
Mm-hmm.
And started to look for you guys. They found me looking and then had the nerve to start with the whole and he's gonna do his best imitation of I can't remember exactly what it said, but along the lines well, it's because you're the whole profiling thing of being a goblin. And then now we're here.
Well, I mean, he did say you are a goblin.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna try and lay that on thick of how in his imitation, to make it sound much worse.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a performance check on that one.
Public or private?
Public. Just want to see how good of a impression you do.
Do I have any type of advantage on this? Because he has said this story multiple times. So he's getting better.
Straight roll. I like the enthusiasm. You seem to be in a legal battling mood. I like it. Let's see what happens.
Let me check one thing to see if I have. No, he wouldn't be able to pull off anything anyway because Saerys is right in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not awful, but not.
So, you attempt to give this thick performance of the inflection in which he spoke, but you weren't able to pull it off the way that you saw it in your head.
Okay. Yeah.
So it wouldn't be as effective as you intended it. So Saerys, seeing this impression of the guard as he is bound to the wall,
Mm-hmm.
how do you react?
All right. Well, there is possibly a way I can get you out.
All ears.
The condition will be that you're just gonna sit in your seat across from me and not go anywhere afterwards, if this works.
How much time is left on the trip?
27 hours.
No, Fennec's asking her.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
sorry.
she's like, I'm not sure. Better part of a day, maybe a full day.
You're just gonna see a visible, sigh of deflation. And
Look,
okay.
We're just trying to get from point A to point B, and the problem with trains is they're very enclosed, as you may have noticed.
Yes.
There's a reason all the great heists usually involve arriving from the train from the outside and once again leaving from the outside.
Makes sense. All right.
But
I agree.
All right. She will stand up and walk over to the guards.
Okay. Are you done talking to him?
I am, and I would request you have all the pertinent information regarding him. Like, request to have him placed into my custody and care and recognizance until the end of the ride. We are residents of Route. I can vouch for his well-being. He will not be going anywhere other than his chair, from here to his chair across from me, where he will remain for the remainder of the trip. And if he does not, I assume you will catch him, and I will allow myself to be included in the incarceration. If there's a fee involved as well, I would be willing to pay that.
No offense to you, ma'am, but who are you that we'd let him out on your recognizance?
I'm his attorney. I'm his barrister.
So you say. We only brought you here to shut him up.
Can Fennec hear that?
Yes, but again, even if, were you denied anything?
No. He the whole.
Okay.
No.
Oh, yeah,
He's not even going off that. I was thinking.
I just wanted to double check. I'm in defense mode right now.
Yeah,
I gotta say.
It wasn't. I wasn't even going to that. After the guard says that she was there to shut him up, he's just gonna like laugh.
Well, meaning, shut you up. You just kept on saying you wanted to talk to your lawyer, so it was just to get you to stop saying that.
Oh.
That's what they mean.
Well, he asked for an attorney, a barrister, and a barrister arrived, so there's that. I am also offering to pay the fee only to have him sit across from me and have him manacled in a very questionable manner. There are a lot of goblins' rights groups that would make it very awkward for House Orion to perhaps maintain. I mean, you won't lose all your business, but you might see a significant drop in profits, and that would be bad. Do you want to explain that to one of the dragon-marked lords?
Well, considering that we have followed procedure, there would be nothing that is to be cited.
She points over to, like, that is poor procedure. This incarceration method is, for lack of a better term, deplorable. You should have been able to provide a space to keep him contained, not manacled. It is immoral to manacle a person for any length of time.
It is not illegal.
Are you certain about that? Is that you're going to stake your career on that? Because 33 hours chained to anything is not proper, moral, and legal. If you're arrested in the city, you're put in a cell. You are not chained to a wall. And you know this. He has rights. And I'm not trying to take him away or remove him from your watchful gaze. I just wish to remove him to a more humane setting because, criminal or not, he still has rights.
And this wall's getting awfully comfortable. Those chairs are awfully uncomfortable.
Are you insulting the lightning rail?
No, he's just trying to be a smartass of saying that like the wall is not a burden to him, but the chairs would be for comfort levels.
So basically, you're saying the antithesis of what she's arguing.
She's trying to get you into a chair across from her back in the passengers.
And you said it's more comfortable to stand.
No, his play is that if he's making it seem like he's not bothered by being chained, is not inconveniencing, but he'd rather that the chair is more uncomfortable, that they might be like, oh, let's make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, but the point's not to make you uncomfortable. It's to
Yeah.
detain you.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna retcon it.
hold on.
Didn't say anything.
She is arguing against the uncomfortableness of the situation, and no, we're not retconning that. I'm not going to give a penalty to it, but we're not retconning it. You said it.
Okay.
So, and they did hear you say it. With that, Saerys, go ahead and give me that persuasion check. I'm not sure if I had a chance to ask for it yet, but I'm asking for it now.
Okay. Click. There we go. Persuasion. Here goes nothing.
I'm not the one who's going to be issuing the fine. The fine is issued when we get to room.
That's...
But if you are willing to agree to allow my soldiers, my guards, at least one, to maintain surveillance on him. After all, he has been proven a flight risk.
I am aware.
If you are not allowing that stipulation, I cannot release him to your
No, I understand. I just wish to move him to a more humane seating arrangement that, just looks bad overall. Just to have a goblin chained to a wall, I understand. You might want to review your procedures, by the way. But...
Oh, it doesn't matter what race. If we have to imprison you, this is where we put you.
Oh, that's just awful. You need to take that up with upper management then.
Excuse me, no, we are not a prison cart. We expect a level of civility where we don't have to deal with this on but rare occasions.
Anyhow.
Which is why when we do see these violations, we treat them as severely to deter them from the future.
She just does nothing, lets her face be blank. If you would be so kind, one of the guards can of course escort us, which I assume you would want. But we would like to return to our chairs. Both me and my client.
Of course. And he's going to motion for one to go and cuff him. And he will be following you back to the cart or following you through the carts.
Mm-hmm.
And he will not get outside of range of observation.
That's fine.
So, with that conversation going on, Yami and Gierfreid, you are in the room. What would you be doing during this time?
They're in the
I'm
room with us.
leaning on the wall listening, seeing what's going on, how it's going to play out. Oh, Fennec's grown enough to get himself in it, he can get out of it.
Yeah, by asking for help. Smart. But you guys have the floor. If you choose to walk over with Talia, as suspicious as it might look, you would be able to overhear the conversation. If you stand near Fennec, you would still be able to overhear the conversation to a degree. But you would also hear Fennec kind of scream out his piece.
All right.
You have the floor, gentlemen.
Wait, sorry, just a point of something I'm curious about. I thought we were in a separate train car. I thought it was there was a prison or a car with the drunk tank where they were, and then we were in the car connected to that one. Was that not the?
I thought you were with Saerys in that same cart, in the same car.
I thought
if you weren't, that's okay.
I thought while this was happening, they had been with they were solving their Karen problem.
Yeah, that's what I.
No,
we've been actually.
No, because in the last session, one of the things that happened was Fennec had told Yami that basically one of the guards was racist towards him, and Yami threatened to punch him.
Yeah, so that's.
So you guys were definitely in the car with them at this time.
Yeah, we just
Or
kind
at
of
least Yami was.
Yeah, well, me and Gierfreid stepped away when Saerys went to go talk to him because she said, "Let me just go real quick," and we stood like I guess at the entrance of that cart where we were like by them. That's where we left off. So we were in the car, but we're just not. Yeah, so we're there with them, but we're just not. I mean, well, I wasn't actively doing anything. I was sitting up on the wall, leaning like, what? It is what it is.
So yeah, he's finally giving Fennec his fatherly attention, and now Fennec has to choose if he wants to embrace it or not, or whether or not it's too late.
Okay.
Weird subplot happening.
I'm gonna lean into Yami, just be like, so I've been meaning to ask, what exactly is the relationship between you and the goblin?
Well, seeing as we got some time, I'll tell you all about it when we get comfortable, at least. The story.
I mean, I suppose I don't need the full story. I'm just curious. Like, are you his caretaker or is his parental figure? Like, he seems. I don't interact with goblins very often. I don't know how old he is.
Well, he's actually a young adult. He's pretty grown enough to make his own decisions. I believe in him, so I'm giving him his face to figure out what he wants to do. You know, but you could say I'm his caretaker from a distance.
Well, I mean, not to disparage your parenting style, but you're not really doing a bang up job. He's already got himself locked up.
Well, sometimes you gotta learn. You can only teach them by you know what they say. If they get one way to learn is by experience. So he chose his path and decided to follow good. I'm gonna give a head nod to Saerys. Good old, you know, the most honest person we know. So if that's what he chose. That's what he chose. He's his own person. I can't make all his decisions from him. You know, you gotta spread his wings.
I mean, I suppose that's a way to do things. But I mean,
I'm just here to make sure he doesn't get hurt. I mean, you could say I'm his guardian angel. Like, I mean, I'm gonna let him get in trouble, but at the end of the day, worst comes to worst, I'm taking. I'm getting. Oh well, they're gonna have to trouble. I should say.
I mean, sure, but I'm just warning you. I can't get on the wrong side of the Orion house. So if he stays there, I can't really do much about it.
Nah, listen, he's all right. He'll be all right. Trust me, he's a tough lad. Don't let him fool you.
This is all out of Fennec's earshot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're kind of in the back, just kind of leaning in. Like, you guys are doing your thing, and we're just kind of like sitting, like, you know, hanging out in the back, just kind of like bantering while this is all happening.
I'm like, listen, trust me. Fennec knows what he's doing. I mean, it might be a little, but he's got this. I believe in him. Well, you know, I can't tell him that.
Here in the campaign, he's not even within earshot.
I just can't let him get a big head, but he got this. I just don't want to tell him that. I want him to figure it out. He got this.
All right, if you say so.
I believe in him.
Are we seeing them start to unchain Fennic and Saerys?
You would be. You would be.
Oh, look at that. Saerys seems to have talked her way through this.
Yeah. See? I told you it'd all work out. Did I give him a... I'm getting a brain fart right now. Gierfreid had elbow nudge.
Right.
Yeah, I told you it'd all work out.
By the way, just curious. I'm like, I pull up, I kind of like look over at my wrench really quick. Can I see that hand axe you got?
Yeah, shoot. You want to throw flame fireballs on it? That's
no. I'm just I take the axe and just look at the portion where I put my infusion. And I'm just gonna go, huh. All right, here you go. Just curious about something.
What? What's gonna happen now? Is it gonna blow up?
No. It's just I'm starting to become very confused with what is and isn't real.
I'm gonna give him a questionable look.
I then look at my finger and notice that I'm currently wearing that ring. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna lie down.
It's been
As he
a long
says
2
that,
seconds.
right? As he says, I'm gonna when I put my hand on his shoulder when it's imagine, I'm gonna look at my hand like, huh. I have like deja vu, like what this happened before. Anyways, as the other two walk along.
So as this is happening, as you're conversing, you would notice that Fennec have that opportunity now to scream his cries of freedom. So Fennec, as they uncuff you, what are you going to do? Gierfreid, I asked that question with exactly how you feel. Sir, how are you going to do this?
How long has it been since him and Saerys have talked? Or
Minute?
like,
Say probably about 5 minutes since you last conversed with her. She's been conversing with them for probably about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
Minute to walk over there. So yeah, it's only been about 5 minutes since she left you to go talk to the guards.
Well, for Fennec, that would have felt a lot longer. So then check him. He's gonna stand up and walk out. Or start, sorry,
Okay.
not walk out. He's going to start walking with them as they escort him. But you'll see a very big shift in demeanor in him.
And what is this shift in demeanor?
It's well, we'll have to see how the interactions play out.
Well, you said there's a shift in your demeanor. As you're walking, what is that shift?
He almost looks as if, like, it is a walk of defeat. Like, he feels completely defeated right now.
So it's almost like you're doing a walk of shame.
It's, in his eyes, yes.
Okay.
He, in that 5 minutes, it was Katie, like, was thinking, but it's like the way he feels, because how the guards got him twice, Saerys' conversation with him, and everything like that, everybody kind of like essentially like looking after him, he's in the mindset that he can't do anything right.
Gotcha. So slumped shoulders, the neck hung low as you're trudging along, right?
Trudging.
Okay. There we go. That's all. I just wanted to see how your character would be representing that shift. You know what I mean? So you guys would all kind of notice, and you would see this, because I would assume that Fennec is usually walking with a very smug or an arrogant perspective, right? Like shoulders strong and high. That's why he reacts so negatively, correct?
When he makes it to like the seat, he's literally just gonna crawl up and just look out the window and just stare out the window like blankly.
Go ahead, Gierfreid.
I was gonna say, don't forget your broom that appeared next to you.
So yeah, you'd be able to grab that broom and drag it along with you as you trudge back.
I don't want to have to come back here and try to talk our way into grabbing that thing.
No, he gets there. He'll have it. He'll pass the guard, and even in his defeated state, he will still say something. He'll look back at like where the broom was dragging and just be like, "Consider it my community service." And like as he's sleeping.
I like that one. I'm going to give you an inspiration for that. I think this is actually one of the first inspirations I've given out.
Oh, I already have one.
Oh, definitely.
Well, then pass it along.
I'm gonna give it to his attorney. Because I mean, that alone
makes sense.
That alone,
she needs all the luck in the world. She put up a good argument for you. You should be blessed to have Saerys in your life.
Oh my god.
But with that, you would all notice this visible shift in Fennec's disposition. Yeah. Right word.
Yep.
As he trudges along, the broom trailing behind him. What are your initial reactions? We're going to start off with Saerys.
She's gonna basically, it's like, oh, don't sulk. You're out of chains, and soon we'll be en route and free and clear. All part of the plan.
He's just gonna kind of give like a shrug.
Gierfreid, what do you think? Seeing this shift.
I feel that Gierfreid wouldn't have. He's only been traveling with these guys for what, 2 days? I don't think he would really note all that much different.
That's fair.
Like
Very fair.
it's not something that he would really. I mean, contextually, I feel like obviously he's bummed out about it, but Gierfreid is still pretty new to this party, so he'd be just
no
like,
context. Makes sense.
Oh, rough day, little guy.
And Yami, what do you think? After you just told him how you told Gierfreid how much you trusted him to figure it out, now you see him in this state. What do you think? Yami.
Sorry about that. I was on mute. So I would have come back a little bit. Like, can I talk to one of the guards?
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. He was under my care, so I will take full responsibility. And if you want to keep me here, that's fine. As long as you get him out those cuffs and let him just he didn't mean anything. Trust me. I promise. It was all that was my fault. I told him to do whatever he did.
Would you do this?
You know what? Honestly, I think this is a good time to take a quick break. So, on this note, we're going to give you, the audience, our usual sales pitch, and you can hear our voiceover talk to you about Players of the Realms a little bit. And for us, we'll be right back. All right, we are back. We are live, and my brain has officially rerouted to the current situation. So, with that, Yami has expressed that there were more conversations that he wanted to say, but with that last message, the guard is going to look at him. The look is going to be suspicious. Are you telling me that you're saying that it was all done, everything that he did was on your
Saerys
command?
would like to turn around. It's like, no, he's just being an idiot. I apologize.
I was alone at this point.
Yeah, he hung back until you all left.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah, it's all on him.
So I'm gonna be like, all right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a terrible liar. I can't lie for nothing. I just don't want him in cuffs, and I don't know what to say. Like, can you at least take him off the cuffs? Is there anything I can do to, like, if you have to put me in the cuffs just to make him comfortable, make you guys feel comfortable? He's been through a lot. He know he did wrong. At least just to make him comfortable. We're on a train. If anything happens, I'll be held accountable for anything. Whatever you
Is he
got.
a child or not?
He's not, but I love him like.
Then you
he's
have
my
no
son.
grounds to be making any of these pleas. He's an adult. He has made an adult decision, and he has to deal with adult consequences.
Fair enough. All right. Well, thank you at least for hearing me out. And I'm fucking selling.
You are going to notice that as you turn to walk away, he is going to motion to another guard who is going to begin to follow you.
That's fine. I'm gonna sit down. I'm not gonna say
Because of
nothing
the
about
because of the walk back that you did, and basically declaring that you initially lied to them,
it.
they are now very much mistrustful of you.
Fair enough.
With
Going
that,
back to the
you are all able to make it back to. And before we go on, Sarah, so are you going to be leading them back to where Levin and Mei Li would be, or are you going to be leading them to a different cart?
Maybe the same car, but some different seats.
Because do you remember in the last session you did use your disguise kit to change the complexion of Mei Li, and both you and Levin were in the process of braiding her hair.
Yes.
Levin had continued after you left.
So
She is now in disguise.
Yeah, mostly because I need to keep an eye on Melee too, so.
Yeah, you don't want Levin teaching her cop stuff, right?
He'll just ruin all the training.
Gotcha. So you are able to make it back relatively easily as long as you aren't trying to duck out of the way of the guards, or the guards once Yami joins you. And you will notice that there is an extra guard than you had originally agreed upon.
Just stares at Yami. Cool.
With that,
Planks.
I'm gonna put 2 minutes on the clock where you guys have an opportunity to discuss. You are going to be just out of reach of the guards, so you are able to talk safely as long as you aren't talking too loud. Meaning, if you declare that your character is exclaiming something loudly, that is something that would be audible to them. Casual conversation will not be. They are just trying to maintain visual.
Yeah, I would have came back looking just as sad as Fennec without the cuff.
And a guard.
Yep. I'm just sitting down in my seat. Just lunching like her. Long time.
So you would notice that he comes in a noticeably different condition as he slumps down, looking very similar to the way Fennec does. Fennec, you had said, I believe, that you were curling up on one of those seats in your bout of depression. Or shame, I should say.
Shame. Definitely mopey and just kind of. Yeah, he's like I mean, if you can see, like, he's like leaning up, like somebody would be leaned up against the window seat of a plane, just like all those like cutscenes where in like Lifetime movies where they're going to just like looking out the scenic route.
Okay.
Faint
So he's not
jazz
really
music
paying
plays.
much mind to anything. What?
I said faint jazz music plays in the background.
Yeah.
The world's smallest violin.
Okay, so Fennec is sitting in a Lifetime movie now. That's,
Gotcha. That scene just before the climax comes up.
yeah, so he's not even really paying attention to like really much around. Like he knows Saerys is there, but he's not really acknowledging much else.
Alrighty. Saerys, how would you be feeling what would you be doing in this time? Noticing that there's a second guard, you do see Yami, and he is looking slightly depressed.
Hmm.
And this extra guard.
I just like, well, that just fucks up everything now.
Also, what, you wanted to bring a third guard in?
No, with one god I could have possibly managed a way out. Now we have much more limited options.
Why are you all trying to find a Weasley way out of things? It just seems like they're gonna give you all the fine when we get off. I mean, I would just sit down and take the payment you have to take and not really do anything else.
That's what I was guessing at this point. I'm not as good as a lawyer as I thought I was.
Let's just say the mitigating circumstances. But that seems to be neither here nor there, because we're here now.
With that, you are going to see the door open up on the further end side of the front in the opposite direction of where the guards are sitting, and you would see somebody dressed in less of a guard uniform and more of a not maitre d', more of a, I'm gonna go with conductor. He's more of a squire type, and he does approach you, noticing and going to the people that were described that he would recognize. So he wouldn't recognize Saerys. The description that would be given would be for Yami, Gierfreid, and Fennec.
Would
and some yes.
Would Gierfreid, since Gierfreid's worked on these trains before, would Gierfreid recognize the garb, like the status level of the individual?
Yes, you would be able to tell that they are usually runners that are used as gophers for the elite on the train.
Okay.
They would be approaching, individual would be approaching you. Any of you, and he's going to pull out a list. Fennic, Gierfreid, Yami, Saerys.
I assume yes, but I might need to check your list to make sure you didn't just say entirely different names and were instead, misreading them.
And he's going to hand it over, and it is going to be a list. It is going to be a notice from Ramos and basically requesting your presence.
Yeah, that's us.
He was really bad at pronouncing their names.
Just checking.
He doesn't know how to read. He doesn't know how to read very well.
I'm just making sure that there's no Gierfreid here on the train. Be a bit awkward.
Nope.
All
right. It seems like Ramos wants to see us. I guess we'll have Levin stay in the cart with your bodyguard.
The bodyguard that doesn't guard the body.
Oh yes, the 11's there to protect my bodyguard.
The bodyguard for the bodyguard. No.
All right, let's go talk to Iron Leg.
I love it. With that, you would be led to the first class cart where it would be more of a smoking lounge type of area. You would see Ramos with his metal leg up on top of the table, drinking already, a large pipe in his hand as he's toking that, and there's a large cigar in front of him. Oh, you guys have made it. Welcome. And he's going to tilt his head curiously as your two security guards follow you in. Hold on. Assuming Yami and Fennec, are you going to stay moping around, or are you going to join them?
No, I mean, if his name was on the list and Ramos wanted to see him, he would go. He's like...
Because you also do have to stay with Saerys. So if Saerys goes, you have to go.
Yeah. Nope, he is following and obliging to what is requested of him.
I'm hanging
Yami?
back. Nope, I'm hanging back. I'm just chilling in my seat, looking out the window, taking a nap.
Okay, gotcha. So he's going to tilt his head curiously as he sees the one guard enter after you. Is there any reason you have this follower?
Complications on the trip over.
Oh, you guys always are interesting. Come, sit down. Have a drink.
Gierfreid sits down.
He's going to look at the guard.
Is this like a bar?
Would you like a drink too, sir?
Is this like a bar or like a table?
The bar would be probably about 10 feet away from you, but you are sitting at a table.
Okay.
At a booth, more accurate.
Okay, yeah, I was curious about. So.
Fennec will look at the guard and be like, "Can I drink?"
We were told just to watch you. We don't care what you do. Just don't run.
What if I walk out?
Fennec.
There's a little bit of spark coming back, but like it has that tone of like he just doesn't. Not that he doesn't care, but it's half-hearted.
Fennec, pick your battles.
I'm picking it with this bottle of bourbon.
Fair enough.
Dwarven ale for me.
Ooh. Let's see.
That's pretty swanky.
All right. So yeah, the bar would be right here. You guys would be entering through this area here. Ramos would be sitting dead center, his foot on the table. So, sit down and tell me about this complication.
There was.
Who wants to tell it?
Fennec, you have such a flair for the details these days.
Well, before you say anything, I feel the need to ask you, Ramos. Do you really want to know the whole story, or do you think you might just be satisfied knowing that we just have a babysitter right now and leaving it at that?
He's going to look at his drink. He's going to look at you. He's going to look at his drink. He's going to look at the clock. I have nowhere to be. I don't know where you have to go, but I've got nowhere to be. So regale me. What happened?
Take it away.
Nick, the stage is yours.
in like a nonchalant, like almost in like with reluctance, Fennec will just go, I was walking around. I walked in on some woman. I was arrested.
He's going to stop you there, not by physically stopping you, hearing that he's just going to burst out laughing. And is going to like laugh for like a full 30 seconds before letting you continue. As he takes a large chug of his drink.
Fennec will take a couple swigs of the bourbon. I got out. I was brought back in. And now I have, and he'll not like use his, he won't say anything. He'll just like nod his head, like gesturing to the guard. And then he'll take another swig.
And you mentioned escaping to him, right?
He said that he got out.
Okay, he got out. He's going to look at you. You didn't attack anybody, did you?
Is the guard that's escorting them one of the ones that he ran into?
Yes.
He'll look, and you'll almost see the demeanor change again a little bit, but kind of coming back to a Fennec level. And he'll smirk at the guard and be like, thankfully, no one was hurt.
Good, because if you would have assaulted somebody, you would have gone to prison. There's no way that you could have been helped out of that.
Now, let's say that I was on the receiving end of assault.
Were you resisting arrest?
No, I was dead.
Then how were you here?
That's a story for another time, but I fainted and was manhandled to the steerage cart.
You're not from a city, are you?
Nope.
Well, welcome to the big cities. This is going to happen if you break rules. Doesn't matter if you're unconscious. If these were the guards en route, well, let's just say you wouldn't have gotten off scot-free. Possibly not even without bruises. You look relatively clean to me.
On the mention of bruising, would there be bruising on his wrists from the shackles?
Did you struggle against the shackles?
No, I mean, he magically stepped out of them.
Then no.
Oh.
The only bruising that would have occurred would have been from you fighting against the restraints.
Okay.
Because they didn't shackle you until after they got you into the room.
Okay.
You were treated fairly well. Like, you were picked up, you were carried, you weren't dragged.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he's going to say that, though?
No.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you
No.
meta-wise.
Oh, I know. As a player, I know.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. I wasn't saying that in-game. All I'm saying was, like, for the most part, like, these have been, like, some of the most respectful guards that you've been arrested by.
Yeah.
Strange sentence.
But with that, he is going to just look at you. As funny of a story as it is, it's definitely not the best of situations to be in. It's going to be a very expensive fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mine usually run.
1,000 gold pieces.
Oh. Excellent.
You'll see him slump right back into it.
Listen, you're here with me. I can see what I can do. But I'm not a complete humanitarian. I may need a favor for quests if I don't have the funds to pay people. If that's something you could agree with, I can see what I can do.
I feel like we're on the hook for several favors at this point.
But, well, I would rather that than see you go into a debtor's prison.
I can't disagree.
That's what's gonna happen. And
If that's okay, when we get to Rote, just comply with what they ask, and I will see what strings I can pull.
and I just
I've
want
got it. And he's going to tilt his head back. I've got at least 3 friends in the Orion house who owe me a favor.
The people in Orion owe you a favor.
Of course. When you've worked as a guard as long as I have, you learn how to play the political pole. And oftentimes, that means being affiliated with none, but having friends within all. The best thing you can do you can have in life is a good friend in a Dragonlock house.
I mean, that's fair. I'm used to owing them, as opposed to them owing me. But I mean, yeah, it seems like
Well, fighting in the war tends to provide you with plenty of opportunities to earn favor with people.
Right. And man to man, are any of these favors earned by perhaps collecting dirt on some of the more unsavory members of the Dragonmarked House?
No, I save that level of exploitation for my dealings with syndicates.
That makes sense. Sorry, just asking. Still trying to navigate my way
Oh,
around.
no.
Ryan.
That's quite all right. You have to understand, in my line of work, you need the connections. I'm somewhat in the political game. I handle most of the development of the military and handle quests that come in and out. So when you're doing all of these favors for people and things of that nature, and again, having war buddies is a good thing too.
starts to know low people.
Sorry, what was that, Fennec?
He's thinking a lot of you after Ramos is talking. He just kind of says, like agreeing with what Ramos is saying, kind of like adding on. So he's like, so you get to know low people in high places.
Indeed. No matter how high the social situation is, you always have those people who are more easily swayed. Whether it's through booze, whether it's through company, or whether it's through, as mentioned, unsavory means. But I tend not to do that to my friends. Which is why, with you, I will consider you friends. You may not do the same, but I enjoy your company and your stories. You get into quite a good number of hijinks.
Well, good at
Well, and he worded it very specifically.
So, is there anything else you guys would like to ask Ramos, or before we time skip ahead?
get off this train.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
When we get back to our regular seats, I would like to take some time to suss out what's going on with my horseshoe.
Alrighty. By what means are you attempting to do that?
I mean, it came from a ghost horse, so I assume it's magic already. So, what do you? I don't have like an identify spell. I'm a cleric, so I guess just sit with it, trying to figure out what it is.
What you doing?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Oh, goody. I'm good at these.
Are you?
Are you though?
I feel like I am.
You roll like Fennec.
You feel like a magical presence is there, but you're not able to glean anything more than that.
Okay.
Would Gierfreid be watching this?
Would you be watching it?
I mean, if we're in the same cart, then I feel like he would be naturally nosy. So, if
So yes, you could be
Alright.
you could be watching it if you choose to.
all right, and sorry, follow-up question: is the time skip we're going to be doing going to be like getting off the train?
Yes.
Okay, because there's two things I'd like to do. So
I don't want to give you any more time on this
Yeah,
train,
yeah.
to be honest.
So Gierfried's gonna lean over as you're doing that and just be like, "What you doing?"
Oh, just figuring things out. Badly.
I can take a look at that if you like.
No. No, I'll figure it out. But thank you.
If you have a shot in the dark, I don't suppose you have a pearl, one worth about 100 gold.
I usually carry the gold instead.
Right. Well, if you come across one, I can better identify anything. Just putting it out there. Also, you've got a knife on you, right? The one that you've been threatening everybody with?
I mean, I have several.
All right. Can I borrow your favorite one? Assuming it's not magic, right?
Why would it be magic?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know, you brought it up.
I need a weapon that's not magical because I'm going to make it better.
That is Everyone's saying weird things today.
Just give me your fucking knife.
Tempted to put it in your ribs. She hands it over to it.
I'll give this back to you in the morning. I'm going to, over my long rest, I'm going to give it the enhanced weapon enchantment.
Okay. How many more do you have to be able to bestow?
I can only do 2 at a time, so I'm currently I'm taking off the one on my my light crossbow, the repeating shot. I'm taking that off, and I'm doing the enhanced weapon enchantment for her knife. The four I have in my pool are enhanced weapon, repeating shot, returning weapon, and homunculus servant. So I can choose from those. I can reallocate them from that pool every long rest, but I can only have 2 active at any given moment. So the 2 I have active are currently returning weapon on Yami's throwing axe, and now enhanced weapon on her knife.
Gotcha.
This question is not meant to go into anything, but when Gierfreid mentions the pearl, would Fennec, going back to the beginning of this train ride, would Fennec have seen any pearls in that room that he opened?
No.
Okay. It wasn't even going to. It was just going to be one. It was just going to be one of those lines of like, I know where there's a pearl.
Okay.
It wasn't going to go back to anything. It was more to the line than anything.
With that, we are going to time skip ahead the remaining 26 hours that are left.
Long rest.
And you are arriving in Road. You would be escorted by the guards, particularly Fennic and Saerys, to the Road train stations, the Lightning Rail train station, where you will be held while Ramos goes and talks to the station headmaster. after about 10, 15... before I go on, do you comply with the guard's requests?
Yep.
Okay. I feel like I have to just
What are the
ask at this
requests?
point. Sit down, shut up.
Oh yeah.
Do you do that?
Yes.
Okay. I just, like I said, gotta ask. After about 10, 15 minutes of conversation, you would see Ramos come out, and he's going to just be in his normal jovial mood. Alright. So, I had to cash in 2 favors for this one. Apparently, the guards were particularly peeved off that you managed to escape using what they tried to argue was illegal magic on the train.
That's just
Would have been nice to know that one.
well, that's just a lack of imagination on their part. Those shackles could easily have been exited without any sort of magical means.
Oh, don't worry. They understand that now. And as far as I understand, they are going and talking with another Dragon Marked house to be able to get anti-magic field cuffs from now on.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So,
Looking forward to that implementation.
good job. Would have been nice to have that, knowing all of that going in. So, if you ever get into a situation that I help you with, I hope next time you'll be more forthcoming.
Hard to keep track of every little detail. Apologies.
And he's gonna kind of grumble. Anyway. Welcome back to Road. You are free to go. There is no fine levied against you. You owe me at least 1 favor. And should you also need employment and future jobs, as I believe we had talked about when we were still in the previous train station, come see me. You know where to find me. I figure you'd want a day to decompress, if you can. And he's going to say this half sarcastically. Try not to break any more laws for the foreseeable future.
For clarification, what? Favor and job, are they mutually exclusive?
No.
So they're separate entities.
Yes, meaning you want money, you come see me. I need a favor, I come see you.
That's clear enough for me.
Alright? Does that work?
Give it a take.
It was
Pretty much.
it
Hey,
was-
listen,
it-
he saved you guys 1,000 gold pieces here.
Oh no, but like
That's fair enough.
that was a genuine question.
No, I know. I wanted to, I was also just making sure, like, yeah. That's ultimately the difference.
Yeah, no, that makes it perfect sense.
So with that, you are back in Rote. Where would you like to go?
Are there any locked doors?
Oh,
No!
God. Are there any? First of all, my question is, what time of day is it right now?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say that it is first thing in the morning.
If it's all the same to you all, I'd like to stop at a shop, see if I can't get some more supplies here now that we're out of the boonies.
Good luck. Place is so...
I've been here before. I mean, I think
Saerys, do me a favor and give me a wisdom saving throw.
No. It's a weird thing to ask.
Is it though?
Part of the city, like what you said.
At this point, it's all right. It's about time the DM gets one off the wall.
I mean, can I use my inspiration to re-roll that?
You certainly can.
I don't want to fail a wisdom.
It's interesting because you don't know what it's even for.
I don't, but I don't like failing wisdom saving throws.
Maybe we'll.
That's okay.
Maybe in Rogue.
You can certainly use your
God!
inspiration.
Oh, you're definitely inspired, all right.
Whew. One whole number high.
Anyhow, I guess I failed a wisdom saving throw.
All right. So, as far as you know, nothing's happening. But you feel this itch at the back of the head. But it's more in the lines of something it's like something ebbing at the back of your mind that's causing this itch. So, you guys are in the city. Gierfreid, you said you wanted to go shopping.
Right, I just want to see if I can't find a. I'm looking at my my kit right now, and I'm looking at my my wrench. That's a mace, and I'm gonna be like, well, I need to find a. Yeah, this thing's getting a little bit old. I was hoping I could find a mechanic shop. See if I can't find any better items I can purchase. Might help with repairs on the on Carpe Diem. Which, by the way, where the fuck is Carpe Diem?
I'm gonna say you would have had time to take it off of the cart, out of the storage vehicle.
All right, and
so you would be near it.
All right, I suppose we should probably park this somewhere. Would we know where to park this? It's like a storage lot or something.
Well, think of it similarly as if it's like a car.
Okay.
You would have spaces on the street that would be available. As a reminder, you are in what is a 1920s society, so
right.
You do see people dressed up nice and dapper-like.
All right, well, let's drive around a little bit, see if we can't find any shops that might cater to my specific needs. Though, if any of you all need anything, then I suppose we should stop there too.
That seems fine.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't really have nothing specific, so I'll come along for the ride if you don't mind.
Okay.
Alrighty.
The driver's seat.
So, because you're going for looking for what I would assume is another wrench, right?
Yes,
Or
one
you-
that's a club. One that's a club and not a mace.
Okay.
For the purposes of my infusions.
I was gonna say, are you sure you want a wrench then, or would you rather like a screwdriver here?
Well. So,
or do you want a hammer, like a forge hammer?
Yeah, actually, yeah. A like.
Otherwise,
a
we can
hammer.
flavor. Yeah. Otherwise, we can flavor a wrench to be a club instead. That's okay.
Yeah, we'll do it's like a socket wrench for the club. I have like just like a normal wrench. We'll do a socket wrench for the club.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
a big fuck off socket wrench.
Let's see.
Or a crowbar. I mean, I don't care which.
Crowbar works nicer.
All right, sure,
All
crowbar.
right, so we're gonna say that that's gonna cost you. Go ahead and call even or odds.
Evens.
It is odd.
Fuck.
So the only one they have is more of an expensive crowbar, so it's going to cost you 3 gold pieces, 3 gold and 5 silver.
No, that's nothing. Here, take 4 gold.
I was going to say, fine, 7. All right,
7
so
gold?
with that, no, I'm kidding. Just the 4. If you're giving me 4, I'll take the 4.
I'll give you 4 gold.
And you can add a club, only because clubs aren't, that expensive.
Yeah, all right. Cool. Just a basic ass club. All right. That's good for later. All right. I got what I need.
And the rest of you? Is
Got
there
me
anything
to-
you'd like to go shopping for? Hello? Is there anybody here?
I think they all said no when I asked.
Sorry.
earlier.
I was muted. I guess for now, yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Man,
Right. So I mean to ask, where exactly are we all going? I mean, insofar as you've told me, and to be fair, a lot of what you told me initially was lies. So I'm not precisely sure what it is that we're all doing.
I'm gonna look at Saerys. Like, yeah, what is it exactly we're supposed to be doing?
Oh. I don't know.
You always seem to have your own agenda, so. Well, I say we should go see if there's any more work to do at this point, because we definitely need money.
Well, didn't
And we
that...
got favors to owe.
Anthony Ramos just said that if we need money, it's go to him.
Yeah, didn't Ramos... wasn't there something involving, like, an undead army or something?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, no, I remember that. I mean, if that's the... We don't have army, so I don't know about you guys. I'm not scared, but I'm not trying to fight our army either unless we got backup or something.
I don't think we'll be fighting an army. I don't think that's
No.
the kind of favor Ramos is looking for. Not from us, anyway.
He probably just screwed up.
Should we just go to Ramos then and ask him what he wanted that favor to be, and just doing that then?
Pretty sure it's more of a thing. He's gonna call on it when he wants it.
As you're having this discussion, would you be walking back to the tavern you guys normally stay at?
I would say
Yeah.
I would have been at least.
So you would have, during the progression of this conversation, you would have been walking towards this tavern. You would now be inside. One of the first things that you notice is there's no bard there.
No.
Good.
Well, that's too bad.
You're going to see a drastic shift in demeanor from Fennec and a much more positive walking into this tavern. Well, I say this place is improved. Drinks are on me tonight.
Is this your usual drinking hole?
Yeah.
We've been in here once or twice before. We haven't spent that much time here as of late, but we're familiar with it.
Yeah, we stay here enough at least. Put it more summer. At least for now.
Oh, he'll look at Saerys. Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
The dreadful silence of a lack of proper entertainment?
Yes. Isn't it wonderful?
You're not a fan of music there.
Oh, I love music. But what I'm referring to, I'd hardly consider.
There was perhaps a misunderstanding with the previous entertainment provided by this location.
A misunderstand. It's gonna set him off. Just that word. A misunderstanding.
So we're gonna
Might as well change my name to the Fennec. The misunderstanding.
So we're going to start working on using euphemistic phrases to say things in polite ways so people can't tell we're actually jerks.
We'll teach that to the guard that just said, "But you are a goblin."
Yes, well, it's good to be underestimated, Fennec.
Not always.
See, the only flaw with what happened on the train was your timing.
Always my timing. Can't seem to get that right. Can't seem to get anything right. And he's gonna saunter back off. And he'll before he storms off, I was finally feeling good about myself and it just came crashing down. And he'll go off.
I'm actually on your side with this one, Saerys. It is, I do find value in being underestimated.
Fennec could come around. He just needs to internalize the process a bit. He's a little new to the ways of the streetwise persuasion.
Is that intentional? You said a little new?
No, I don't do that. I don't make puns. They're the lowest form of entertainment.
Lowest.
I will kill you in your sleep with the dagger you gave me.
Well,
I'm
you should know
gonna-
that if I die, then that dagger stops being enchanted. So
Also,
Will it
there's
stop
no reason
stabbing
to be,
you?
There's no reason to be so short.
Oh god.
Sorry, I had to get that one out. Sorry to interfere. The narrator kind of came in there with his own little pun there.
I
Sorry.
get that.
So, Fennec, would you be going to sit at the table?
He went to his room, I think.
He just said that he sauntered off, and I think we're killing him with the puns right now.
Oh no.
Yes, I want to know. Did you go to a table or did you go to your room? What would Fennec saunter off to?
wait, so is this bar completely empty, or is there just like, are there anyone?
It is full, but the atmosphere is almost depressed.
I
Because-
would like to walk up to the bar and offer to not to offer to perform like but what I would do is more like regale the crowd with a story of a clever goblin.
You
No
can
names,
sit.
just the clever goblin. But I want to tell him a story about how this goblin outsmarts like a bunch of like less than clever cops, but corrupt cops. The goblin outsmarts a bunch of corrupt cops and does like sort of a Robin Hood-esque story about a goblin.
Give me a
If
performance check.
okay,
Part of me wants to.
can I use guidance?
Not without being noticed.
Okay. But given that I'm a cleric, would I be able to like do that, like as like a little prayer, like before I start performing?
I will allow it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. In that case, there we go. Yes. Back on track.
Nice. Of all the times to roll a crit, you're going to notice that your story does capture the attention of some of the people.
Mhm.
You do have some hecklers who, more on the lines of, "Where's the music? You can't have a story without music."
I heckle them back. It's like, shows what you know.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
entertainers are supposed to gauge based off the audience. But for the most part, your story is well received. Despite it being about a goblin, the audience likes it.
Everyone likes an underdog.
They do. They even like the goblin. The protagonist was nice.
Well, it's partly because also the corrupt cops and like the goblin steals from them to help. Like I said, Robin Hood, he steals from the rich, gives to the poor, that sort of thing.
Yep, the hecklers were more of those that were guards and ex-guards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They didn't like that. What happened?
I'm so glad you spoke before.
So I want to go to the barkeep and purchase one of the best pastries that they have and an extra mug of ale or your finest meads or whatever you have here.
Alright, so the finest pastry he has is going to be like cannoli, and it's going to cost you 15 gold pieces.
That's fine.
There we go.
I'll mark
That's
that
like
off.
high echelon stuff right there.
The hell's in that cannoli?
Cream.
For 15 gold?
It's
Made
not
from
an
the
easy
best cows.
Hello, you are in Eberron.
Yes, we're not here. We're not in no regular schmanzy pansy place. But yes, I'll purchase that. I'll get the extra ale so that people are like 16 gold.
Yes. Sure.
Okay.
16 works, even though I said 15, but you can mark off that.
No.
extra.
But I said for your finest ale or wine.
Oh, yeah, that's going to cost you another 2 gold.
Alright, so 17 gold. All right. I'm gonna chug my mug, order that one, grab the pastry, I walk up to whoever Fennec sounded off to, and be like, hey, listen, I'm not the best with words, so I'm not gonna say anything. So I'm gonna quote somebody wise. You wouldn't know what success is without experiencing failure. I'm gonna hand him the cannoli and the finest one. Like, sometimes you gotta fail to succeed. You're doing good. I'm handing him over the cannoli and the expensive one. I'm gonna pat him on the back. If you want to talk about anything, I'll be over there. Go sit in the corner, hanging out with the rest of the gang.
Alrighty. So you are going to notice that there is chatter around the tavern. If you would like to listen into the chatter, you can go ahead and give me a perception check.
I actually wanted to see if I could use one of my or my guild membership feature to I guess first off, are there any dwarves in this tavern, like a specific group
Yes.
of dwarves? All right.
Yes.
Gierfreid will walk up to the group of dwarves if that's allowed.
You are certainly allowed.
All right. I'm going to. Gierfreid's going to walk up, and unless any of the group speaks Dwarvish, they won't understand what I'm saying because I'm going to speak in Dwarvish and walk up to them and just go. Sorry, is the seat taken?
Ho, 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 you speak Dwarvish, have a seat.
Of course I do. I'm just
Another round over here for this fine flaming dwarf.
I'm just gonna
You
point
can tell,
to the,
yeah, he's been here for a while.
Yeah. When he says, you speak Dwarvish, I'm just gonna motion to the symbols on my shoulder pads and just be like, of course I do. Sorry to bother you. Just find solace in the old ways, but was just curious. Me and a couple of friends just got back into town, and the mood seems a bit dour here. Is something going on?
Oh, it's such a sad thing. There's this usual bard who hangs out here. He's been around here for a while. But as of late, he hasn't been coming by.
Is there any...
He was a good energy in the place.
Is there a reason for it, or is it just he found a new place to sing?
As far as I know, and I've asked many of the dwarves who drink at other taverns, and they say they haven't seen him. We have no idea.
Huh. And no one thought to look for him? Or her? I'm sorry, is it a...
It's a him. Well, we don't know anything besides his name is Seth. Besides that, we don't know much about him. He could have left the city of Rote entirely.
I mean, that seems a bit... I feel like someone would have at least noticed if he's, if he's beloved here, and I feel that someone would have noticed if he had, decided to take up and leave.
But we don't know where he We don't know where he resided, but we would have assumed that he would have at least said goodbye if he left. But one can never be sure.
That does sound a bit odd, doesn't it?
Indeed. And I must say, his limericks can be cheesy at times, but he was very skilled with his music, with his instruments, and he just happened to have a reassuring energy.
I understand. I mean, makes for good drinking, of course, and I'm going to just kind of toast with the ale that he ordered for the table. He's
going to clink all the glasses together furiously, and you're going to notice that the liquids slosh into each other's mugs. The true sign of trust as they chug down.
I'm going to try to out-chug him with my...
As he's chugging back, he's going to be side-eyeing you, and seeing you tempting, he's going to go... and he's going to renew his effort to beat you. Go ahead and roll a call even or odd first, and then go ahead and roll any dice of your choice, because it's a wonderful thing about math rocks. Even or odd always works.
I'm going to... Where's the dice button? I'm going to say... Fuck it, evens.
Do it.
Yeah!
Alright. You managed to out-chug him.
I'm just going to, slam it on the table, wipe my mouth, and just go, it's not my first run here.
I knew you were a dwarf at heart.
Something like that. Alright, well, it's been lovely chatting with you, and I'm going to get up, belch loudly, and then walk back over to the group.
Do me a favor, give me a constitution saving throw first.
Ooh, saving throw. Ooh, that's not good.
Safe to say, after chugging down that slightly strong concoction that you don't even know what you were drinking, you were slightly inebriated. Your words are slightly slurring. Your step is off. But you are able to successfully walk back to the group with your information.
Oh, stronger than I thought it was. Right, well, the fella that, the bard, he's missing.
No. How dreadful.
Well, it seems like everyone here is a bit upset by the fact that he's not here.
Well, I guess there's a position open, isn't there?
Well, if we're looking for something to do, then I suppose that finding this gentleman might be the best thing to go about it.
Fennec will never go along with that.
I was just about to say, you go tell him. I'll stay here and watch.
I mean, you don't even think it's worth asking the bartender about? I mean, we might be able to get some free lodging here if we find the main source of entertainment.
We have to ask everybody. I'm like, if Fennec.
You're cutting out.
Couldn't hear you, Yami.
Yeah,
So I said, Fennec, come over here.
Isn't he up in a room?
No.
No, he just kind of
Okay.
walked off.
But he's come back now that he's kind of seeing everybody. He's no, so he when he saw everybody talking, he did make his way back. So yeah, Yami calling him over would be fine. You will notice that he won't even look at Gierfreid.
Okay. All right, that's whatever. So the bartender, the bard's missing. We could talk to the bartender, see if that might be a line of work we can pursue.
I'm gonna sip my ale and side-eye Fennec to see what he says.
So you're telling me that we made that lovely. This is all towards Gierfreid. That we made that lovely trip back here so that we could be sent on a rescue mission given to us by, and he'll spit on the ground, dwarves to go find that good for nothing bard.
Not very fond of dwarves, are you?
He'll spit again on the floor.
Take that
Fennec.
out.
How loud are you talking, Fennec?
It's like he's not yelling it, but it's that like through the teeth angry.
Okay. I was gonna say it is a quiet tavern right now because there's no bard. So
I'm gonna disagree. Like, I'm gonna argue against a quiet tavern with dwarves drinking.
No, they're just talking amongst themselves.
But
There's no
Norms are
music or any. What?
no. I was gonna say there. Nope, you're correct. No music. But he's not yelling. He's like that gritting through the teeth, like thing, but like not yelling. It's that like
Okay, so
yeah,
just basically loud enough that the group can hear.
yes.
Gotcha. So, seeing this, Gierfreid, and the repeated desecration of the floor in response to the word dwarf,
Sipping my
The
mug
tavern-
faster. Side-eyeing rapidly.
So, you're asking what my response is, or
yes.
Gierfried will just kind of like, just gonna note that for the time being, and I mean, and I am kind of drunk, so I'm just, I am curious what your, I mean, that's quite the violent reaction to dwarvish people. Is there any reason for that?
Let's.
Uh-huh.
There is. I'm trying to think how to.
Say it without saying.
They're vile and cruel.
I mean, I feel that that's a bit of a ironic statement coming from someone who just faced such cruel acts of prejudice on the train that we were just coming off of, does it not?
Yeah, well, similar actions have occurred in the past.
I mean, I understand hurt people and all that, but I'm no stranger to being targeted by dwarvish folk, but I don't hold it against them all.
Well, I'm not you.
That's fair. If everyone were
Saerys.
being me, the world would be a lot more boring.
Saerys, here, overhearing this conversation, is there anything you'd like to interject? I feel like we haven't heard from Saerys in a bit.
She has no real opinion on this matter. She's just letting them
I
chat it out.
was about to say, Saerys, you want to go grab drinks while they fucking out?
No, probably going to just get some rooms, get a room for Meili and I, for a night or two. I don't know how long we're going to be in town this time.
Fair enough. Well, it is still like what? I'm assuming it's like you said it was morning when we was here, so well, it should be like what, mid-afternoon maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, it would probably be about late afternoon by this
All
time.
right, yeah. So it's still all right. So maybe we can if you want to secure it now. I mean, that is smart.
Well,
But-
hold on a moment. If we're going to be asking for rooms, why don't we ask the bartender about the bard, and we might be able to secure free lodging, like I mentioned that earlier. But you know,
How about this? I will go up to the bartender and it's like, excuse me.
Yes, how can I help you?
Yes, I did the sort of story time a moment ago, earlier in the day. I was wondering if I did a mix of story and song, could my companions and I get a couple nights lodging here?
I don't usually offer that for bards. Normally, it's just what you make from the crowd.
I would let you keep the tips? Or
I'm
go
not
50-50?
I'm not worried about that.
Oh.
You bring in a crowd, I get paid anyway.
Well then...
This is the standard arrangement I've had with bards.
I'm just... okay. Never mind then. She'll walk away.
I guess we're sharing a room. How much does the room cost here? I'm pretty sure the cannoli was 15. I mean, we can all go halves on a room and take shifts in the bed. I mean, I'm fine with sleeping on the floor. I got a bedroll. So, I'll leave that up to you.
Think it's Gierfreid, Fennec, Yami, and Levin that need rooms.
I'm fine with sleeping outside. I have a bedroll.
That you really can't. I'm pretty sure there's no loitering in the city. Vagrancy is a crime.
Sleep on a bed. Alright. Well. Alright, how much is a room, sir? I'm sorry.
Well, unfortunately for most of the people who will stay here normally, with the feast that's coming up in a couple of days, prices increase around this time. So you're looking at 10 gold pieces per day, and they fill up.
I mean, we've been here a few times. You think you can help the guy out?
I put down 30 gold pieces. 3 rooms, 2 beds each.
3 rooms, that's what, 15? Oh yeah, 10. Yep, okay. So 30, you have your 3-room keys.
I hand out the room keys to Yami and Gierfreid.
Thank you. Probably gonna need to sleep this off because I don't know what they were drinking, but that was some... Oh, that was stronger than I'm used to.
Why would you try to compete in a drinking contest with dwarves?
Because it's fun. Why not?
Oh my god. Okay.
Look, you spend enough time around them, it just... You start to develop habits, right?
I suppose I wouldn't know.
Well, we still have some time a day. Anything else you want to do? Any last minute shopping? Anything?
So that is what you guys have to tell me. What would you like to do for the remainder of the day?
Yeah, I was about to say that's what I'm asking them too for the same reason. What are we doing? It's still mid-afternoon, so we still got some time. Unless you guys want to go in your room now, that's up to you.
Hey, remember, you always have a missing bard at the very least.
I'm all for finding the missing bard. We're in a city, and I figure that if he's... I mean, you all seem annoyed with him. If anyone else is annoyed with him, then he might
Especially
have
when
back to somebody, and we... Carry on.
I'm
Sorry,
just concerned that we're not going to get Fennec's 100% help on this one. I think we'd be hard-pressed to get a 1%.
I mean, we could always... is Fennec with us as we're having this discussion right now?
Yep.
Or did you wander off? You're here?
He's still there.
I mean, possible. I mean, look at it this way. It could very well be a rescue mission, or it could very well be a line of discovery that will lead to the mangled corpse of someone you very much dislike. I mean, we're in a city, there are gangs, there's a chance that we might find him strung up on some chains with all of his entrails falling out of him. Wouldn't that be something that you'd be interested in seeing?
Absolutely.
Right, so why don't we just... I mean, my curiosity is piqued. I'm going to be honest. I don't know whoever this person is. It seems like some people love him. You seem to very much not love him, but I am now very interested in seeing what's become of this gentleman.
I mean, yeah, might as well. I mean, if he is, I still can't say no because it definitely piqued my interest. Definitely curious. I'm like that Fennec.
Worst case scenario for you, if we find him alive, I mean, you could just fuck off and try to leave him to his own devices if he's not, in danger and you don't want any part of it. But if you find him and we find him in various places, I mean, that might bring you some semblance of joy.
And he's just gonna like when people like wait
pros and cons,
like wiggle their head back and forth like they don't want to admit it, but they have to admit it. Because they're like, when you put it that way.
Alrighty then. Do you have a direction? Did anybody tell you at least where was the last location he was seen?
No, but I still don't think something's not right. I just never had a good feeling about him. This does not help.
Maybe he just quit. Why would he go missing? Maybe he just didn't like his gig here.
Then why would they care?
The gentleman over there that I was speaking with, they expressed
Gentlemen!
They expressed to me that he has, according to their information network, and trust me, folks like that, they all talk to one another just to try to find the best drinking holes. They said that none of the other taverns or local drinking areas have seen Seth, I believe his name was, and they have no idea where he is, no word on whether or not he's skipped town, and he seems the type to at least, give a farewell and you can see me at this bar here and there. Seemed like that kind of gentleman. So,
do we know what he looks like? I don't think at least I remember.
I have never seen this man before.
Oh, I know. And based off what you described, this guy seems like a real upstanding citizen if he's going to leave his people.
Oh, here's what I'm thinking. If he's the kind that is likely to say that he's gonna depart, and he didn't say that, then maybe something horrible happened to him. I mean, there are gangs in the city. Chances are that he might have fallen in bad with one. And if that's the case, then, I mean, he might as well be dead. But
you'll have no argument from me.
Well, I mean, I guess what we really need to know then is who has last seen him. And there's a tavern full of people here that we can ask.
The bartender will always be the best bet. He's always here. He always sees everything. At least one of the barmaids.
Fennec will look up at Saerys quickly. I will give my full effort under one condition.
Oh, what is the condition?
That when we find out that he's behind something, I get to say, I told you so.
Fair enough.
Well, it's a little...
It's a take it or leave it deal.
I'm sorry, I can't be told I told you so.
Oh, come on, have a little humility. Everyone deserves to be told that they're wrong once in a while.
And listen, that's if she is.
And Fennec will just point at Yami as he says it. Still an if.
She glares at Gierfreid a little, like, rest assured, I've had more than my fair share of humility.
Alright, what's one more? Come on.
I will...
You can't say that. Come on.
Nope.
You put dirt on yourself and you say you get humiliated. Come on.
I would like to... I'm kind of a shot in the dark, but Gierfreid is going to switch to Elvish. Because I assume, based on your appearance, that you at least speak it. And I'm just going to say, that sounds like an interesting story I'd like to hear later.
Ooh.
I speak Elvish too, so I would definitely understand that.
So with that, is there anything else you would like to do for the remainder of the day?
Oh yeah, we still gotta figure out where this guy went.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to the bartender and
it's your turn.
So what I'm gonna say is we're gonna pause here for the night because to continue for the investigation is gonna push us well past 11 o'clock. So we're gonna wrap it up here for this evening. It has been a blast with playing with you all tonight, and I hope those of you who have been watching us tonight and will possibly watch us in the future, please continue to show your support for us, and as a reminder, we just recently on one of our reels hit 500 views. That is one of the first times that's happened for us. So
Huzzah!
thank you for checking us out. With that, we will be here more than likely next week for Friday the 17th. So we will catch up with you all then. Till then, have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, and may the 20s be with you.
Night.
Good night.